Okay, so now that we have played around with the work plane, what we want to do is to first change the name, the file name. So um, we want to make sure that you put in your name. So for me, it'll be Mr. C and which gear you're doing. So if it is gear one or gear two, you just put it in. So this way, I will be able to print it out and know whose gear it is and which group it belongs to. Okay, so once that is done, what we want to do is now I want to show you a little bit about the plane right here, all these little squares. Okay, currently, if you can see right here, is set to millimeters. So that means each one of these little tiny square is 1 square millimeter. So it's 1 millimeter right here. One. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means one large box right here is 1 square centimeter. Okay. Now it might get a little confusing in the beginning, but it'll be okay. So now we understand the size. What we want to do is go ahead and drag out a gear. So what we want to do is come over here on the right side. It says basic shapes. We'll select that and come down to shape generators. From here, first I want you to select all and then more shapes. Scroll down and press more shapes one more time. Now at the bottom here, you see a few different type of gears. So this one's just plain gears, pro gear, useful gear, metric gear, and cone metric gear. What we want is pro gear. Now go ahead and use your left mouse button, press it, hold it down, and drag out the gear. Okay. Now we have the gear out, and to place it in the center, we can press this button right here, and you can see. Okay. Now, let's just get a little bit description right here. You see these four little white dots right here. Okay, that tells you from here to here is the width is 21.04 millimeters. So it's like a little bit over 2 centimeters. Okay, and same thing right here for the height, 2104. Okay, now what we want to do is come over here on the right side. The very first thing we want to do is just to make sure we change the teeth. Um, so do you recall how many letters are there in the English alphabet? Okay, so it is 26. So we go ahead and put 26 and hit enter. And now we have 26 teeth, or cogs, if you want to call it, around the gear. Now for the height, oh, let's tilt it a little bit. Recall I was talking about these four dots. Now there's also a dot right here in the center, and that is actually the height. You see there's dotted lines right here. It's telling you the height is 4 millimeters. That means it is less than half a centimeter. Okay, so I just want to come over here to the height and change it to 5. That means it's half a centimeter. So this way it's just easier to identify. Okay, now we have the height and the teeth. uh, we want to change a little bit about the tooth base width. So what the tooth base width is from here to here. Okay. And the reason why we want to change it, we want to widen it a little bit, not too much, but just enough, because we have to put alphabets all around each gear so we'll know the letter that it represents. Okay. And So I'll change this to 4. Okay. All right. That part is done. So we don't have to worry about any of these. So make sure you do not change anything else. Okay. Because what happened is if you decide to change, let's say the tooth tip width, then and your partner that's making gear 2 didn't change it. Now when it turns, it might not get the grip that it needs. Okay. So we want to be consistent. So everything else, leave it alone. Now that it is done, we want to change the size of the entire gear. So right now it says 63.89 millimeters. So what I would do is just make it to 80. So we know it's 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Okay. And you can actually literally see it from the boxes. So each box right here, or from this to here, this distance, that's 1 centimeter, correct? So we can see that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So it is 8 centimeters.